P stands for Paddy, I suppose. J for my love, John. And W stands for false when they're young. And Johnny is the fairest of man. And Johnny is the fairest of man, my dear. Johnny is the fairest of man. And I don't care what anybody says, 'cause Johnny is the fairest of man. As I went out on a bright May morning for to take a pleasant walk, I sat myself down upon an old stone wall for to hear two lovers talk, or to hear what they might say, my dear, but to hear what they might say, that I might know a little more about love before that I will go away. He stands for Paddy, I suppose. J for my love, John. W stands for false for the young. Johnny is the fairest man. And Johnny is the fairest man, my dear. Oh, Johnny is the fairest man. And I don't care what anybody says, 'cause Johnny is the fairest man. Other time, as I hear you have another little lad, and your heart's no longer mine. And your heart's no longer mine, my dear. Your heart's no longer mine. As I hear you have another little lad, and your heart's no longer mine. P stands for Paddy, I suppose. J for my love, John. And W stands for false for the young. Johnny is the fairest man. Oh, Johnny is the fairest man, my dear. Oh, Johnny is the fairest man. And I don't care what anybody says, 'cause Johnny is the fairest man. Tree, or to a wild bird's nest, and when I come down I'll care a little more about the girl that I love best, about the girl that I love best, my dear, about the girl that I love best. And when I come down I'll care a little more about the girl that I love best. And P stands for Paddy, I suppose. J for my love, John. And W stands for false for the young. Johnny is the fairest man. Oh, Johnny is the fairest man, my dear. Oh, Johnny is the fairest man. And I don't care what anybody says, 'cause Johnny is the fairest man. 'Cause Johnny is the fairest man.
P stands for Paddy, the Paul McKenna Band, and you can hear more of them at gardensessions.co.uk in our free downloads section. You're listening to the Garden Sessions, gardensessions.co.uk. Contact us at podcast@gardensessions, and we're also available at 98.8 FM in the Edinburgh area, Leith FM, where Leith lives. I'm Jack Foster, and joining me, as ever, are the... It's gone on my sheet. It's not printed right. What was it? Can anyone remember?
No, I can't remember.
It was the stone in the shroud. I think it was Easter themed. Anyway, I'm talking, of course, of Dave Dengle's Gimble and Chris Silver.
Yes.
Silver, you're filling in for Frank this week.
Well, this week we have a very special featured artist, as we said, none other than Scottish Traditional Musician of the Year a few years ago, Aaron Jones. That does sound special.
This was from the Bothy Vaults, because we thought this had been lost.
And then an Indiana Jones-esque research assistant came and dug it up out of. I say Indiana Jones-esque research assistant. Actually, it was Jack that found it.
I was looking for bloopers at New Year. And there it was.
Tom and I met Aaron Jones at last year's Celtic Connections.
Dave, give us a hint on your angle.
A hint on the angle. There's unrequited love in it. Big hint.
Isn't there always?
Yes, there is. And we've got Letters Bag and Folky News and Download Chart and all the regular stuff. It's going to be huge.
One hell of a show. Episode 56. And Silver, you'll be reading the Folky News.
Yeah, well,
that's an exciting prospect.
Of course,
because listeners have never heard Frank or Tom.
Yeah, we might have a vote: Frank, Tom, or Silver. Who's best?
Yes. We might have a vote.
We probably won't.
Probably not. Yeah. Anyway, the next tune we're going to hear, this is a real treat because Frank's away. We thought, well, while the cat's away,
we'd play one of his tunes,
which is from his forthcoming album, A Little Less Care, which is going to due out in May. And you can get more information on that at frankburkitt.co.uk.
And
he's not here, so it's fine.
Most importantly, possibly more importantly, look out for the bouzouki solo by Chris Silver himself.
That's an interesting...
Guys, no.
All right. Got some good protesting, Silver. Well done.
Let's go on with it.
This is Frank Burkitt, King and Queen.
Hold the phone, call off the search. I no longer need to seek and dream. The color grey has been replaced by blue and green. I'm no longer a one-man band, but a tour de force, and we'll be together wherever we stand. And you like a convention of angels, that's how it seems to me. And we have all the time in the world now to live like a king and queen. So nice to be where we belong, humming life's laborious song. Ain't gonna take too long. In fact, I'm sure the time is gonna rush away. We're gonna wake up in 50 years and wonder what happened to yesterday. And you like a convention of angels, that's how it seems to me. And we have all the time in the world now to live like a king and queen. So hold the phone, call off the search. I no longer need to dream. color gray has been replaced by blue and green. I'm no longer a one-man band, but a tour de force, and we'll be together wherever we stand. How'd you like a convention of angels? That's how it seems to me. And we have all the time in the world now to live like a king and queen. How'd you like a convention of angels? That's how it seems to me. And we have all the time in the world now to live like a king and queen.
Was Frank Burkitt and band with King and Queen from the forthcoming album A Little Less Care, due in May.
It's a cracking album.
It's a very good album.
It's really, really good.
More information if you want it at frankburkitt.co.uk. And the band, of course, there is very own Chris Silver, Chris Stone, Holly Downs,
good on the bazooka,
and Cara Philby.
And the album should be out about sort of end of the month, May sort of time, we believe.
Yes. Indeed, I think it's good.
It's the end of May, actually. It's actually the end of May.
A little birdie told me it was going to be launched at Leith Festival.
Yeah, at the end of May. So you'll have to wait till the end of May for it.
You doomsayer, Silver. You doomsayer.
Get on with it.
Yes, coming up on the show still, we have the folk news in just a moment. Dave Zangle, give us another hint.
There's a pregnancy.
Pregnancy and unrequited love.
Yep.
This is a recipe for disaster.
It is.
It really, really is.
Yes, indeed.
We have the official Garden Sessions download chart. Will Clearman and Aaron Jones hold on to the top slot? Letters Bag and our featured artist from the Bothy Vaults. Thought lost for a year. Dave and Tom meet Aaron Jones of Old Blind Dogs and Man and Jones fame at Celtic Connections 2007, as well as all the best new songwriting and traditional folk music. Silver.
It's news. It's folk.
What is it, Silver?
It's the folky news. And the folky news brought to you this week, as ever, in association with Paddy Bort's Wee Folk Club.
Well, every Sunday night at the Oak, we've got the Wee Folk Club at 8:30. An intimate venue, 30 seats, acoustic. It's a great night out. We've got fantastic musicians and singers. Every Sunday night, do come along.
He was very worried about that, but he did a wonderful job.
Silver, I am loving the gusto.
Thanks. On Sunday, the 30th of March, at the Wee Folk Club, it's Scottish Folk Singer of the Year, Sylvia Barnes, with Fife guitar maestro Sandy Stanage. Not strange, as you called him. And, of course, as always, you can get more information at royal-oak-folk.com.
He's really trying to get
underneath
it just
the running
right.
tree, I believe. Anyway, top story.
So lovely website.
Top story. Edinburgh's Grand Old Opry of Folk, the Royal Oak Annual Folk Music Festival, will take place alongside Edinburgh's Cayley Culture Festival from March 21st to the 13th of April. Not all dates are yet confirmed, but we'll keep you up to date as they emerge at gardensessions.co.uk. Sunday the 29th of March sees the annual Folkathon in aid of Edinburgh Sick Kids Hospital. There'll be live music all day beginning at 12 noon with Fife folk legend Andy Chung. Throughout the day, musicians will be playing for an hour each. There'll also be performances from Oak stalwarts Martin Boland, Alan Hunter, the Bothy Collective.
I think that, they'll be popping up.
And Jimmy the Angel. All donations are gratefully received. On the 8th of April, the Oak plays host to its annual songwriting competition. All entries should be in by the 31st of March and must be performed on Tuesday, 8th of April. Prizes and recognition for the top 3 are voted for by the judges. The second story.
Anyone here entering?
Of the evening.
No.
Are you entering, Silver?
I don't have any songs in the bag at the moment. So
I'm sure you could rustle one up.
Anyway, the second story. The folk scene mourns as news that Scottish singer Ian McIntosh passed away on Sunday the 27th. He joined the emerging Scottish folk scene in the early 60s, following in the footsteps of the likes of Alex Campbell, Josh McRae, and that writer of both humorous and overtly political songs, Matt McGinn. Ian said in his own musical autobiography, "I wouldn't change a thing. There's never a dull moment now. The tours come rolling in. Baltimore to Bielefeld, Bermuda to Berlin. No, I can't believe it's 30 years since I began to sing, but if I had to do it all again, I wouldn't change a thing." And finally, the Garden Sessions is approaching its second birthday.
Hey!
Yes! And to celebrate, we'll all be holding a special live show on May the 1st at the Pleasance in Edinburgh. At the moment, we can confirm that there'll be music from the Paul McKenna Band.
You heard earlier on.
Well, yes, Bothy Balladeer, who you heard last week, Scott Gardner, and many more to be announced in the upcoming weeks. I believe we also have Lucy Pringle as well, of the King Shilling fame.
Well, there you go.
She was the Garden Sessions Listener's Choice of 2007.
Yep.
So hopefully all of the listeners from 2007 will be there.
A fantastic evening. There is tell of cake and various other magic things. So hopefully it'll be
Dave's
wonderful.
baking cake.
It's going to be better than the last one.
Anyway,
it should be a wonderful evening.
What are we going to do about tickets?
Well, tickets for the event will be available soon, and more information on the lineup will be announced on the website as the event grows closer.
Well, that's exciting.
It is
looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I hope everyone listening will be there.
I'm not actually that excited because I have been organising it. So I know it all.
So for you, it's just a nightmare.
And of course, as usual, you can keep up to date with all the latest folky news at thegardensessions.co.uk/news. And that's the folky news.
The official Garden Sessions download chart. The official Garden Sessions download chart.
It has to be said he did well. He took up the mantle that Frank dropped
it was
so carelessly.
beautifully done,
It was
Silver.
good news.
Can I just say, beautifully done.
I have been working on my radio voice since then.
Moving very, very slowly on. This is the official. This is the official Garden Sessions download chart based on free downloads from gardensessions.co.uk.
Who's at 10?
At 10, down 1, Bernard Brogue, Bird Watching. At 9, a re-entry for Nick Allmark, Carry You to Freedom. And at 8, it's down 5.
We were just talking about
down
this one.
5?
The Lucy Pringle Trio.
Dramatic statistics.
Yeah, with the King Shilling.
The pipes they played as they marched along, and the men they sang a battle song. March on, cried our captain gay, and for king and country, for king and country, we will fight this day.
At 7, it's a re-entry for the folk legend that is Martin Boland.
Martin Boland, the great Bolando.
Hero of the Royal Oak. At 6, like a bad penny, always turning up, Sinead Connolly with
You've used that one before, Dave.
I know I have.
Lost all effect.
Yeah.
That's rubbish. You got anything better than that?
No,
I didn't think so.
apart from
Continue.
calling her evil, but there you go. At 5, another re-entry, Andy Chung with the Wee Rooms.
And it's down in the wee room underneath the stair. Everybody's happy, everybody's there, and we're all making merry, each in his chair.
Hey!
Down in the wee room underneath the stair.
What a tune.
I had to join in as well, it's brilliant.
He's got a new album out as well, Andy Chung, incidentally. Did you know that?
There's information on the website, I believe.
Not at this stage, but there will be.
There will. Well, there you go.
There is on his website.
At 4, a non-mover for Andy Chung again. AndyChung.co.uk.
It's all Andy
Chung again.
Yeah, Andy Chung again at 4. At 3, it's a re-entry.
It's exciting.
Behold the field of megaliths.
Behold.
They are back
with the
Weir.
bassy rhythms.
At 2, The Arrows, featured artist a couple of podcasts
The
ago.
singing barman themselves.
And it's Steel Melter's Son, and the new official Garden Sessions download chart number 1 is up 1, The Arrows again, with Black is the colour.
It's happened.
Week.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Here comes that solo.
Black is the color of my true love's hair. Her lips are like some roses fair. She's the sweetest smile and the gentlest hands, and I love the ground whereon she stands. I love my love as well she knows. I love the ground whereon she goes. I wish the day soon would come when she and I could be as one. For black is the color of my true love's hair. Her lips are like some roses fair. She's got the sweetest smile, the gentlest hands, and I love the ground whereon she stands. I go to cry, I mourn and weep, the satisfied I never can be. I write her a letter, just a few short lines, and suffer death 1,000 times. For black is the color of my true love's hair. Her lips are like some roses fair. She's got the sweetest smile and the gentlest hands, and I love the ground whereon she stands. My true love's hair. Her lips are like some roses fair. She's got the sweetest smile and the gentlest hands, and I love the ground whereon she stands.
Hose down your Marshall stack and apply an antiseptic cream to your blistered fingers. That was Black as the Colour by the Arrows. Jack.
You're listening to the Garden Sessions, gardensessions.co.uk. Contact us at podcast@gardensessions.co.uk. We're also available on Leaf FM. That's 98.8 FM in the Edinburgh area.
Where Leaf lives?
Yes, thanks.
Yes,
So
we should also say that the Arrows have got an EP available for sale behind the bar at the Royal Oak.
It's so
if
true.
you're in Edinburgh and you want to pick up a copy, it's available now.
And you can also see them performing regular at Dropkick Murphy's in Edinburgh on Monday nights.
Yes, indeed you can.
It's a treat.
It is indeed a treat, yes.
Yes, Dave, I think it's Angle time, is it not?
It is
I'm
Angle
pretty
time.
sure. Yes, it is.
We have pregnancy. We have unrequited love.
Have we got any guesses?
Who's singing
it?
It's a folky legend with a deep voice. Here you go.
Archie Fisher.
No.
Who is it then?
It's Stan Rogers and Oh No Not I.
A Newfoundland sailor went walking on the strand. He spied a pretty fair young maid and took her by the hand. Oh, will you go to Newfoundland along with me, he cried. But the answer that she gave to him was, oh, no, not I. If I were to marry you, on me 'twould be the blame. Your friends and relations would scorn me to shame. If you were born of noble blood and me of low degree, do you think that I could marry you? It's oh no, not me. being over and 7 coming nigh. This pretty fair young maiden, she began to look so shy. Her corsets would not meet and her apron would not tie. Made her think on all the times when she said, oh no, not I. 8 months being over and 9 coming on. This pretty fair young maiden, she brought forth a son. She wrote a letter to her love to come most speedily. But the answer that he gave to her was, oh no, not me. He said, my pretty fair maid, the best thing you can do is take your child upon your back and a begging you may go. And it's when that you get tired, you can sit you down to cry and think on all the times when you said, oh no, not I. So come all you pretty fair maids, a warning take by me. Don't ever put your trust in the green willow tree, for the leaves they will wither and the root it will die. Make you think on all the times when you said, oh no, not I.
From the 1978 album Turnaround, that's Stan Rogers, Oh No Not I.
One
what
of my
a
favourites.
choice, Dave,
One
for
of
your
my
angle.
favourite Stan Rogers tunes by a good long margin.
That was brilliant. That was really, really good. Dave, what's your angle?
Well, it starts off with a sailor, guy from Newfoundland, and he's walking down the strand along the beach kind of thing, and he sees this pretty young girl, and she's sitting there, you know, probably making a sandcastle or something like
Probably.
that. And he quite fancies
Just
her,
enjoying the
so
beach.
He walks up and he takes her by
Making
the
a
hand and he says
sandcastle.
to her, will you come back to Newfoundland with me? You know, will you come with me, you know, and be with me forever kind of thing? And she says, no. She says, no, not me. No.
She's not having any of it.
I'm not. No, I've only just
perfecting her
met you for a
sandcastle.
start. All that.
Fair
kind
enough. I've only
Yeah,
just met.
I've got to put a lot of effort into these sandcastles. She's going in for the Sandcastle Olympics or some such which.
Probably.
It does exist. The Sandcastle Olympics
does
is
it?
a real thing. Yes,
Is
it
it
does.
Sandcastle Olympics?
They make like proper
Is
huge
it based on
ones.
speed or quality?
Yeah, and they like have
No,
particular
which is it based
sand
on?
and stuff.
Speed or quality?
Quality. They make big,
Quality.
huge
Right,
ones
right,
like the
right.
Taj Mahal and stuff in
Yeah,
sand.
there
It's
you go.
cool.
Anyway,
But there you go. He says to her then, no, she says to him, sorry, I can't marry you, I can't go away with you because I would always be blamed. You know, your friends and your family, they'd scorn me, they'd look down on me.
For what? For
Well, basically, he's a sailor. He's reasonably high up in the ranks as well. You know, so she's saying if I was noble and you were sort of low birth, then I couldn't marry you. It doesn't go. You know, I'll always be looked on as, you know, being beneath you, and your relations and friends will belittle me.
So
and
she's
stuff.
worried about the class divides.
Yeah,
she's gotten
but
sussed,
she's
I
worried
think.
about it to some degree for the right reasons. You know, she's worried about what his folks will think of him and her. You know, but what happens then is they
Bottom line,
obviously
it's a no-go.
quite liked each other though, because they had relations, if you will. Because
Okay.
6 months go past and it's, you know, nearly 7 months, and she starts looking a wee bit, you know, she's shy, she doesn't want to go out too often in public kind of thing, because basically her
Her corsets would not meet and her apron would not tie.
Yeah.
I have to say, there's a slight sort of
Can we know the
chauvinist
one thing?
ring
She's
to
getting
this song. you know?
she's getting a bit larger. She's obviously pregnant.
Oh, she's getting large. Oh, right. I thought it meant more that she was just becoming a bit more sort of,
No.
at ease with herself.
No.
Sort of taking off her corset. And,
No.
it wouldn't meet.
She's pregnant.
Oh, not me. Oh, right. Of course. Yeah, sorry. That's quite obvious.
She's
actually,
pregnant,
isn't it?
and then 8 months, 9 months is coming along, and
The
she
apron's not got
eventually.
very long ties on it, though, if it doesn't tie. She asks me.
She's pregnant.
Yeah, but you can still tie an apron.
It's not a maternity apron.
You don't get maternity aprons.
I don't know. I've never been pregnant.
Dave, continue.
So 9 months go past, and eventually she gives birth to a baby boy, and she writes a letter off, straight away, sends it off
To the
saying,
guy.
saying,
The sailor.
To the
the sailor,
The wealthy sailor.
yeah, and basically
Who
she says,
wanted her, but she didn't want to have anything to
yeah,
do.
she says, I've had your child. What do you say? Come and marry me. And he goes, nah, no chance.
So wait, so she wants to be with him
Yeah, because she's had a child.
She's had a child.
because she's had a child, and he's got money.
In those days.
Yeah, and he says,
the
no
dumb thing.
chance, no chance, not at all. And he then turns around to and says to her, it's a bit fair really, because he turns around to and says to her, the best thing you can do is, strap the child up on your back and go off begging, because she ain't getting any money out of
I
me.
think, Dave, perhaps the words "not very fair" are a bit of an understatement.
Yes, slightly.
Take your child
He gets this
upon
girl
your back.
pregnant
Well,
and then says, just go begging.
It gets worse, because he says, you know what, when you get tired, when your feet are kind of getting sore, you just sit there and think about all the times that you said no to marrying me.
It's a very, very...
He rubs it in a
very,
little
very
bit.
bitter.
He
approach.
rubs it in a little bit.
Just
Well,
a touch.
And then basically, I really don't have to work too hard for the moral. I've made it an easy task myself, because Stan sums it up rather eloquently in the last verse.
Is it by any chance what goes around comes around?
No, it's not what goes around comes around. It's basically, don't trust too much in flighty,
So
sailor
never put your
types.
trust in the green willow tree.
Yeah, the green willow tree. It's bendable. It's flighty. It's changeable.
It's a
I
metaphor for
because basically what
the leaves they will wither.
is eventually,
As opposed to a sturdy oak.
as the sailor lost interest in her.
Don't trust
bark
trees.
will
Or
rot
rich
and-
sailors. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically don't put your trust in changeable, bendy, flighty types like sailors who'll love you and leave you and use you, kind of.
But to
thing.
be fair, she didn't put her
She
trust
didn't,
in
but
him.
she was...
She didn't have anything to
Well,
do
no,
with him, and then later
to be
on
fair,
down the line,
to be fair,
did want
she
to.
went, well, look, I'm pregnant. I've had
Although
your child.
he was a bit harsh at that point.
I'm not
really harsh.
She said, I'm
Too much.
pregnant. I've had your child. Can you help me out? And he told her to go begging.
So the moral was don't put your trust in.
Flighty, changeable, sailory, rugged, love you and leave you types. Think about what you're getting into and put your trust in the right kind of
Love you
people.
and leave you types.
What?
Is that your angle?
Yes.
Silver, I believe you're sitting there with tune time.
Yes, and can I just point out that in light of that whole angle, it is a great relief that he would now be obliged legally to pay maintenance for the child.
What are you on
At least,
about?
certainly in this country, maybe not in Canada.
So
Who
we
knows?
can all rest
On with the
ease
tune
with
time.
that.
Yes,
Tune time.
we're about to hear Dervish with Swallow's Tail.
Thank
Today, the bothy mourns as the last of its vases are smashed. It fell from the mantle while Dave was doing a wee jig there. But we'll get some more, I'm sure. That was Dervish and Swallow's Tail from the album Spirit, released in 2004. We have a letters bag in just a moment. Is it just a moment?
It is just a moment.
Yes, it is just a moment.
Literally.
Very soon, in fact.
But Silver, what is still to come on the show?
Well,
We've still got some exciting
we still
stuff.
have a rediscovered tape.
Yeah.
From the vaults.
From
of
the vaults
Yeah.
of... And Jack's been dusting things off all weekend, just like piling through stacks of
And it's
reel-to-reels in our library, and we found it. In the end, we found Aaron Jones, and it is worth listening to because, of course,
very
It is a fantastic interview.
And I can
Nice
also
job,
say that
Dave.
Tom was there as well. He did help. He held the microphone and
It was
spoke
back in the
once
days
or twice.
when he did reports.
When he did
wasn't it?
reports, yeah. I can also say that this is the discovery of the Aaron Jones interview has inspired us. There soon will be a new Bothy Vault section appearing on the website where you can get
That is
previously
so
heard
very,
things and all that
very
kind
true.
of stuff.
The Garden Sessions Letters
Yes,
The
it's the
letters
Garden
bag.
Sessions Letters Bag, podcast at gardensessions.co.uk. You can also contribute in the feedback forum. Dave, where can you find that feedback
The
forum?
little clicky megaphone down at the bottom.
You can indeed. Silver, you got the first letter.
Hello. Dear Garden Sessions, I'm a long-time listener, first-time writer-inner. Love the show. There really isn't a better way to spend an hour. My music collection is almost entirely determined by that which I hear in the Garden Sessions. Well, just wait for the Bothy Vaults, That's all I'm saying. There was one thing which I thought I should bring to your attention, though. The last song in Scott Gardner's featured artist slot in episode... he's pulling me up. Rightly so.
Yeah, Silver knows about this.
Scott Gardner's featured artist slot in episode 55 was introduced as Lassie o' the Morning, but it was quite clearly Breenie's Bonnie Doctor. A great song all the same, but will we ever be able to hear Lassie o' the Morning? Well, Jack, what can we do about it?
Well, we can. You can download it at the website.
It can be downloaded on the
free
website.
downloads, yeah. It could even get it to number one in the top 10. Who knows?
Get
It
downloaded.
should.
crazy.
I think number one is where it should be headed.
Indeed.
Dave's a fan.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work. That was from Sam in Dublin.
Can I ask why exactly you managed to misintroduce the song, Silver? Is that just a complete failing on your part, or?
No, I don't know. It was. I mean, they're both beautiful.
You were giddy in Scott
beautiful
Gardner's
songs.
presence.
I was.
Dave, letter.
Second letter is Dear Garden Sessions. I'm a podcast addict as well as a folk addict and listen religiously to many of the folk podcasts available on the web. The Garden Sessions is without doubt my favourite. Thank you very much.
His drug of
First of all.
choice.
My question to you is why, when one of your presenters, Frank Burkitt, is one of the finest singer-songwriters on the Scottish folk scene, do you never play any of his music?
We did. Just played some today.
Yes, we did.
We have
Yours in
addressed.
awe, Patrick from Dunstable.
He isn't here.
The reason for that is, well, when Frank's not here, we feel we can play it if there's something new or exciting to play. But when he's here, it's a bit conflict of interest. Really, it's a bit blow Frank's own trumpety, and he's big-headed enough.
We have there's so much folk that comes out every week that we really have to sort of there's so much to get through.
It can
anyway.
be a platform for our own music.
Yeah, obviously the number one slot is up for grabs, as Lords of the Bothy proved back in the day.
Frank more so, though, much more so. Anyway,
but that's why.
So that's the letters bag. You can contribute. How, Silver?
By emailing
podcast
at gardensessions.co.uk.
He's only done it about 3 or 4 times, Jay. You can forgive him.
Fair enough. Okay, feature slot this week. Dave and Tom meet Aaron Jones at Celtic Connections 2007.
So I'm sitting here now in the Festival Club with Aaron Jones. Great to see you. Thanks for coming along, first of all.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Of course, you produced a wonderful album with Claire Mann, which I believe Across the Western Ocean was one of the Garden Sessions songs of the year.
So
if you could tell us a little bit about how you got together, how you started working together, and maybe a bit about that song in particular.
Yeah, absolutely. I lived in Edinburgh for 15 years now, and I was away touring a lot. Well, I still am, but at a particular time in my life I was away touring a lot, and I returned home from a tour one time, and when I arrived in my flat, which I shared with a fiddle player, Tim O'Leary, a great Irish fiddle player, there was a girl staying in my room, and what had happened was I'd been away so long that Tim had said to this girl that, yeah, it's cool for you to just... It was kind of subletting my room out It turned out it was Claire Mann. She had left home in Newcastle aged 17 or 18 and decided to come north and see what was happening. She'd heard that there was a great scene in Edinburgh, and at that time there was a fantastic scene in Edinburgh. There were so many of the musicians that are now in bigger bands, you know, a lot of the Sugar Nifty guys, the Wrigley Sisters, you know, Ailey Shaw, Nuala Kennedy. Everybody was meeting up in the Tron, which is unfortunately is no more. Everyone was having tunes in the Tron. And we met through the sessions there. And it was in the days when people would go for tunes, and when the tunes finished, instead of going, okay, the tune's finished, pack their instrument away and go home, they go, where can we go for more tunes? And in those days you could go to Legends, which was down on the Cowgate in Edinburgh, and play till 3 or 4 o'clock. And then when that finished, people were like, where can we go for more tunes? And we'd end up going to people's houses and having tunes. It was a great scene. And I met Claire during that time, and we just... when you play with people a lot in sessions, you tend to... It's like a magnet. There's certain people that you enjoy playing with, and you think, yeah, I really enjoy... And as an accompanist, I thought, I really enjoy accompanying her. There were other people too, but they weren't quite as good looking as Claire was. So we became partners about 8 years ago, and we lived together in Edinburgh and have done. And it was only after about 6 years we thought, well, hell, we should probably think about... Because we play loads of music in the house, and my family are musical, and so there's always a lot of music around. We should do an album.
I think you're doing yourself down to say just an accompanist, though. You've got a voice on yourself.
I do a bit of singing, all right. So, but no, when we got into the studio, I wanted it to be a very organic thing. I wanted it to be very chilled out. We did it in fact, the guy that recorded it is, I call him Uncle. It's like that Peter Kay thing, friend of family. My family have known him since before I was born. He's actually here tonight, and he runs a wonderful recording studio, but it's a relaxed environment. You go there, you can chill out, and you almost kind of set up like you would like a session, you know, and you sit around and record it. And so the album happened very organically like that.
Do you find that a lot more good music comes out of that kind of a relaxed situation?
It's not necessarily. I mean, you can record good music in a very heavy studio environment. I'm very fortunate in that I get to do quite a lot of albums through a year. I've done quite a few for the Gaelic music recently from Macmillan Records, and you can create a really nice album in a very intense atmosphere. But what I find is that when you're more relaxed and it's more natural, then I don't know. There's I think that comes across in the recording that it seems to be more chilled out, more organic, more, and that's what happened with the recordings. And I literally one night I went across and did all the songs in one night. And across the Western Ocean, I had heard from a guy, an English musician, Peter Coe, and he's a great collector of songs. And I think it's from 1846, the song originally, and. Just a tale of going to seek your fortune in America, as a lot of the songs were at the time. But it was one of those songs that changed into a sea shanty and became a song called Leave Her, Johnny, Leave Her. And if you listen to the Leave Her, Johnny, Leave Her, and the hook of ours is across the Western Ocean. There are a lot of similarities. It mutated into that song later and became a shanty, but at the time it was a very popular song, just a migration, and like all good songs of migration, they travel all around the ports. And in our particular version, we talk about the city of Liverpool. So I lived there for a while, and so when I heard that version with the Liverpool lines in it, I thought, well, that's the one for me. You know, that works.
Oh, the times were hard and the wages low. Me and you where you bound. Oh, the Rocky Mountains are my home. Across the Western Ocean. Across the Western Ocean. It's a land of plenty, there you'll see. A million where you bound. I am off across the Western Sea. Across the Western Ocean. Across the Western Ocean. To Liverpool I'll make my way. that seaboard town. Across the western ocean, across the western ocean. There's a Liverpool pop with the sailor's hat, Amelia where you bound, and Yankee John the packet rat. Across the western ocean, across the western ocean. Beware those packet ships, I pray. Amelia, where you bound? They'll steal your gold and your stars away. Across the western ocean, across the western ocean. Oh, the times were hard and the wages low. Amelia, where you bound? All the Rocky Mountains are my home. Across the western ocean, across the western ocean. We kind of went into the studio and it turned into a real Crosby, Stills and Nash thing. It was kind of, it started off as a very simple song with 3 chords, and suddenly I was very, you know, you're always the sum of your parts, you know, all the things that you've listened to, and I was a big fan of all that kind of era and all that kind of stuff.
What's the next thing that we're going to hear from yourself or from you and Claire?
Well, I'm currently mixing the Dogs album, Old Blind Dogs album, along with the rest of the guys in Glasgow while we're here. That's due out on Compass Records and Vertical in the UK, I think, because we tour a lot in the States with the Dogs, so it's Compass in the States. That's due out. The deadline is the end of the month, so I'm guessing they'll have that out fairly soon. We tour in the States in April, May, and it will be out for that tour. So that's finished, and I'm pretty happy with most of that. And we're just about to start Secret Orders 2 in February. Yeah, pretty. That's the working title. I wish we had a more secret something, or you know. So we'll work something out. But we'll work something out anyway.
The first one is.
Well,
I'll settle for Secret Orders.
Fingers crossed, and ironically, the bass player from Secret Orders has just walked past as we speak there. But yeah, we're working on that as well. Myself and Claire are just about to tour England for near enough 2 months, February, March, with a fiddle player from the northeast called Tom McConville. Then the Dogs are away, and we have various. There's plenty of things coming in. So, but it's very important to us to follow the first one up and try and build on the strengths of that and bring a new one out, which we hope will be out by the summer this year. So
that's good to hear. Aaron Jones, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
that was our featured artist slot with Aaron Jones. Wonderful interview, great tunes as always, as we promised.
Pounding stuff. And of course, Dave, everything's kind of happened.
It has. The Tom McConville thing happened, and then again in Edinburgh not so long ago.
The Floor, the Old Blind Dogs album.
Yeah, the Old Blind Dogs album happened. It's amazing how much that man can
if you'd gone to sleep for 6 months last year and you were folky, it wouldn't really matter because well, obviously it's only come out now, but you would have caught up on all that.
I see where you're going with this, Silver.
You'd have to have slept for a year.
You'd have to sleep for a year if you'd just woken up from a year of folk oblivion.
Secret Orders 2
still not appeared. We still don't have a date for release for that.
But it will be good.
We'll try and find out, but at this stage we don't know. We just don't know.
Silver,
what's happening birthday concert-wise?
Birthday concert, well, if it's 1st of May, Thursday, 1st of May, put that date in all of your diaries at home because we will be bringing you a flavour of the Garden Sessions in live format for the first time ever.
Silver,
more
any
information
acts to come. Any acts confirmed?
Well, yes, we already have Lucy Pringle, Scott Gardner, and Paul McKenna.
And more information on that to come.
Podcast.
It's that time again. Episode 56.
My first full episode, really, without the support of Frank.
Indeed.
Yep.
Taking the folky news and running with it.
It's been made somewhat difficult.
And then falling over with it.
By the fact that Dave is wearing an absolutely hideous t-shirt. A big lump of pink goo with various different shapes coming out of it and guns. I
believe it's a Pink Floyd t-shirt advertising the album The Wall.
Yeah.
Anyway, on next week's show there's all the usual stuff. Folk News, Dave's Angle, the official Garden Sessions download chart, and letters bag, another feature. Till then, it's Garden Sessions at Critical. Contact us at podcast@gardensessions.co.uk, and we're available at 98.8 in the Edinburgh area, Leith FM,
where Leith lives.
Till next time, from myself, Jack Foster, Dave Engels, Gimble, and Chris Silver. Take it easy.
Cheerio.
Bye.